Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from Mainnet 2024 by Masari. Joining me for this segment, we have Paul Brody, Global Blockchain Leader at EY, and we're here to discuss how blockchain technology can be a misinformation solution. Paul, it is great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks. And when I saw the topic for this conversation, I got really excited about it because we talk about blockchain technology from the perspective of supply chain management, financial services, and so forth, but as a misinformation solution in a very important time is pretty exciting to me.
Yeah, so it is, I don't want to oversell it as a complete solution. What it is and what it emerged from is that during the pandemic, one of our clients in Europe was finding that people were taking their homepage and their articles and editing them a little bit and basically kind of positioning them and changing the meaning and message. And on the surface, it looked like these were official articles from the Italian news agency ANSA. And in practice, people had been editing messaging around the pandemic, stay-at-home rules, and things like that. And so what they were looking for is some way for users to be able to tell, when am I looking at the real original source, and when am I looking at something that's been potentially doctored or edited? And that's where this notarization and document verification service emerged, and where we really sort of got into the business of deploying it and scaling it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you pointed out here the 2024 Edelman Trust Barometer. 64% of people believe journalists and reporters are purposely trying to mislead people. That's kind of a scary stat, considering, especially in the US, how important that fourth estate is.
Yeah, I think one of the big challenges is that people aren't agreeing upon the facts right now anymore, and so I think a foundational thing to start with is who said what, when did they say it? Can we point back to the original case example, the original interview, the original source? Can we verify it? And that is one of the things that our solution does really well. You take the source data, you do something called hashing, which basically puts it in and creates a kind of digital fingerprint for that data. At any point in the future, you can run any other document through that hashing algorithm and see if it matches. And if you change even one little character in the document, the outcome will be visibly different. And that's really important. It makes it very easy to tell, is my source and my copy or the later reference identical or not?
And this is the EY Ops Chain Notarization Solution, which makes so much sense because as you're explaining this to me, this is exactly what blockchain technology has been designed for, if you will, when you think about preventing fraud, when you think about being able to trace your supply chain and so forth. It seems like such a natural fit when you think about it.
It's an information supply chain kind of traceability activity. And it is interesting because what we're doing here is we're taking advantage of this verification and timestamping process where when you do something on a public blockchain like Ethereum, your data point is copied to something like 10,000 different network nodes. There's no way for anybody to effectively tamper with that many nodes, which means that when you record that sort of digital fingerprint, we don't upload the whole document, just a digital fingerprint, that timestamp, that record exists in copies of thousands around the world, and that means that there's no practical way to be dishonest about that.
Are there any other ways outside of the traditional sectors you would think of blockchain technology associated with that this kind of technology can be applied to?
So one of the other areas where we're talking to potential clients about using this is around just human data sourcing. So if you work online now, if you do research online, what you're encountering is a huge amount of AI-generated content. And the challenge with AI-generated content is much of it's not really original. A lot of it isn't representing like verified expertise. AI tools are not always good at like fact-checking themselves. And so as a result, if you really want to verify something important, it's really important to be able to go back to your sources, and in the future especially, we're certain it's going to be very important to be able to differentiate between, was this a generated content, right? Was this article written by an AI that's prone to hallucination, or was this written by a human in a news organization that has a robust fact-checking process?
Yeah, absolutely fascinating, something that we definitely need to consider during these times. Paul, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.